Hello, it's Sally again. I finished another new journal. Um, this one is in a repurposed book cover. The Funny Little People was a cute little book, and it had some cute illustrations, which I have used in other things already. So I do use these books. This one's pretty fat, and it only has one signature. But I didn't, the binding wasn't, or the spine wasn't that big, so didn't feel like it needed to. And this has a Tim Holtz post for the closure. Okay, I'm just looking to see if I'm in frame. Looks like I'm pretty well centered, so I'll try not to move. What I really loved about this book was this, the end papers, was just the illustrations are so beautiful. And on the back it's also very nice, different. So that's the main reason I got this book. Okay, so here we go with a pocket made with some scrapbook paper, and I have a little animal game card about a porcupine, and just a little postcard from my flow book. This is a paint sample card from the hardware store, but I just put some paper on the back and decorated it a little bit so it can be a tag. So since this is called The Funny Little Book, I sort of felt like anything that was kind of odd or different could go in here. So, because it could be funny looking, right? Because it's the funny little book. So here is some music. It's actually the words for Teach Your Children by Graham Nash. And on this side, Helpless by Neil Young. I did do some spray inks on here just to add a little color. Here's a coffee filter, tea stained. This was in a scrapbook that I got. It's a child's workbook sheet from 1943. And so I had this lined paper which fit nicely in here, so a lot of the pages have this paper. I did not tea stain it. I just used a little spray ink on it. There's a cluster. This one has ledger paper that folds out. And this is one of those envelopes that go in a binder where you keep all your important papers. They're a nice size, and I folded in half. It just fit in here. So I did some stitching around the edge of the flap and put a tag on the inside. A collage tag, napkin collage, gesso, little stamping, tea stained paper on the back. Kind of like to let that hang out. So with your writing space, coloring book page. I did some stitching here. So on this page, what was underneath was, even though I did put some spray ink on it, it was just kind of boring text. So when I see that, I like to stitch some writing paper on top. So that's what I did here. It's 3 extra sheets of paper. And this was a poster that I got at the visitor center. Well, actually, I didn't get it. Someone I know got one for me, and it's a beautiful poster. This is just a small piece of it. It was huge, so I was able to cut it up into pieces that I could use in my journal. And I love the boat here heading off into the clouds. So more ledger paper, fold out. An art book page. On this other side, I put a pocket. This is a photo. This was with some family photos, and I'm not sure if this is a relative or not. It's kind of an interesting picture. I've actually scanned it so I can make copies. This guy is holding some deer antlers on top of his head. And This is just kind of a funny postcard. Early 1900s. Thought it was cute. So it's going in the funny little book. Scrapbook paper. So here I had a page from a magazine, and the page was kind of torn there, so I backed it with some text and stitched it and made it into a pocket for a tag. This is a page from a children's cookbook. So I just glued some sparkly lace up here. Lots of stitching. And this is the center. So I folded one of the pages back and made a little pocket for this card, which is actually was painted by an artist that I know. She's an artist at the farmer's market. I think her work on birds is just beautiful. It's just a blank card. Here's the rest of that magazine page for wax paper. And so I just stitched a little bit of dyed gauze here and 2 postage stamps back to back to kind of make a little tab. And the other page from the art book, which I turned into a pocket. It has some note paper in it. And on the other side, a page from the Edith Holden book. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is actually just a little tip-in. I glued it here. I've done this before, and it seems to work really well. I just wanted to add something a little bit more interesting here. This is one of the stickers I got from Dee. They're washi stickers, and they really do blend in nicely, and they have a nice matte finish, which I like. So here's the rest of that poster I got from the visitor center, so you can see what it looks like. Is that cool? The artwork is just fantastic. And there's more, which it has like scenes from all over Oregon, so this was just part of it. I'll be using the rest of it in some other journals. But extra writing space here. Page from the Coast Guard manual. And then a little corner tuck spot with writing space inside. And this is one of the journaling cards I got from Pam. The little piece of a friendship bracelet on top. Coloring book, stitching, rest of that envelope. Inside this side is a tag made from an old greeting card. You can kind of see some of the writing underneath. Paper doily, pieced together paper in the back for writing. Didn't have a whole lot of clusters made up, but I had this one left over from my last journal, so I put that there. This is a new stamp I got, and I really like that. And last page. So since it's about funny stuff, having fun, there's some people, a bunch of ladies on. It looks like they're doing water skiing, but they're kind of like, look like they're on surfboards. And that's it. Excuse me. Thanks for watching.